We're fed up with most politicians, so is it time for a new political party? We talked to him the other day when he was not sure whether he'd be leading
Yeah.
UKIP or not. He isn't anymore. So, Henry Bolton, a very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
How is it now, Henry? How are you feeling? I mean, have you licked the wounds?
Yes, I mean it was a bumpy ride for a couple of months, but I have to say it was quite an interesting ride. You learn a lot when you go through something quite that intense and invasive into your private life, and politically, of course, quite an experience. But no, feeling fine now.
Some say you're not a natural politician. Is that fair? I mean, you were in the forces, weren't you, for a time?
I was, and in policing, and I worked internationally in various conflict areas as a civilian as well. But I take that as quite a compliment. If people don't think I'm a natural politician, part of the problem in British politics today is that there are such a high number of politicians who have virtually no experience outside politics. And I think, there needs to be a little bit more of a balance in there.
All right. So you founded a new party. The party is going to be called One Nation. What exactly are you proposing to do with it?
Well, just from the outset, I should say the party's not registered yet. So the statement that I put out today was a statement of intent. We are founding a new party, but it's not registered with the Electoral Commission as yet. The party is really looking at two particular areas. One is the big issue of the day, which is getting us out of the European Union in all areas of law, government and public administration, but also going beyond that through Brexit and beyond, and a party that can seriously contribute in a constructive manner to the trajectory that we come out of the European Union on. So sort of shaping the future, if you like. But particularly as that affects the local communities, individuals and communities who are on a day-to-day basis facing increasingly complex challenges and a decreasing ability to get their voice heard. So that's something that I'm passionate about. And as I've toured the country as leader of UKIP, it was a massive issue for people all around the country that simply they were being disenfranchised.
So where will you stand politically? Will you be a right-wing party, presumably, but how right-wing will you be?
Well, I think that's a sort of a dangerous assumption to say right-wing. Part of the idea of this is to be sort of ideologically free in a political sense. So not constrained by any political ideology or doctrine in terms of the solutions we apply. So what the country needs is a pragmatic sort of ideology-free approach to governing. If the solution to a problem is what might be considered traditionally as a socialist solution, but it's the right solution, then it should be applied. If it's traditionally something that would be considered a right-wing solution, then the same applies, or a liberal solution. If it's the right solution, then it is the right solution.
Isn't that what
in applying it?
Isn't that what the Liberal Democrats say they're doing?
No, not at all. And the Liberal Democrats are very centrist. They're all about. Unfortunately, I used to be many years ago.
Well, I was going to mention that, of course, yes.
And I believe to an extent in old-fashioned traditional liberalism, but I'm afraid the Liberal Democrats have moved to a position where actually, it's rather than this is simplistic, of course, but society owes everything to the individual, and the individual has no responsibilities to society. And I absolutely disagree with that. And
so, for argument's sake, Henry,
something that everybody should be consider themselves part of one nation.
For our argument's sake, you might decide that renationalising the water companies, so that we, because there really is no competition between the water companies, is there? When you think about it, renationalising the water companies might be a good solution to the problems we've had recently, and possibly even renationalising part of the railways.
Yeah, indeed. And, if one looks at, for example, the Austrian railway system, it's a state-owned company. It does run on a loss, but it empowers business. It runs on time. It's fully integrated. It's an excellent service compared to our own. And, indeed, again, what is the best solution here? I'm not, making policy here on the hoof, but yes, indeed, if the best way of having an efficient railway system that empowers business and enables people to work and travel on leisure at a reasonable cost, then without putting them under financial pressure in other areas, and God knows everybody's got more than enough financial pressure on them. If that's the right solution, then we should be able to apply it, yes.
One of the other things that UKIP members were very keen on, I believe, was bringing back capital punishment. How would you stand on that?
As I say, I'm not going to make policy on the hoof, but if you're going to ask me personally where I stand on capital punishment, I'm not a supporter of capital punishment. I've seen enough dead bodies and executed bodies in my time to not particularly like conference? That.
Oh, shut up.
You could. No comment. But
maybe
no,
capital punishment should be brought back for people being horrible to. Yeah, that's an idea. I suppose. It could be.
UKIP leaders.
Yeah. All right. Just before I go, I've got to go for the news. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts then about the dying embers of UKIP.
Well, I don't think UKIP is going to die. I think it has a huge problem trying to influence national events, including those around Brexit. It's distracted by its own internal problems, political problems, schisms within the party, political infighting. It's got some financial problems to address, challenges to address, not insignificant ones. And it's been, for over a year now, it's been losing members. So that's, it's got a lot to do. And I'm afraid that the party is so busy trying to sort all that out and not doing particularly well that it's taken itself off the battlefield of Brexit.
But you're going to be there. You're going to register this party in the not too distant future, I presume,
and lead it.
Yes,
and you're going to lead it.
Well, that'll be dependent on a requisite vote. But yes.
All right. Well, we will wait with interest. Henry, thank you very much indeed. Henry Bolton, who is the prospective leader and founder of a new political party yet to be registered, but could be registered fairly soon. Called One Nation. Would you be a member, I wonder?